Hey there, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Eastern State Penitentiary, located in Philadelphia, USA. Now let's get into the story. Eastern State Penitentiary was opened in 1829, and by 1870, it had become one of the largest and most famous prisons in the world. It was designed in the form of a star with 6 separate wings radiating out from a central hub. This made the prison easier to manage since all of the prisoners could be kept under constant surveillance. Starting in the 1920s, the prison began to deteriorate. By the 1950s, it was clear that the prison needed to be demolished. The prison also featured solitary confinement cells, which were intended to be a punishment for bad behavior. Prisoners would spend 23 hours a day in these cells, with the only break being for an hour in the morning when they would be let out into a small courtyard. But these cells would soon become known as the worst place in prison. In 1901, 2 prisoners were sentenced to solitary confinement for fighting. They were placed in adjacent cells, and every morning the guards would hear this sound of hammering coming from inside the cells. At first, they assumed the prisoners were using a makeshift hammer and chisel to carve out a way to escape. But when they searched the cells, they found no such thing. It turned out the prisoners had been using their bare hands to hammer out the metal bars of their cells. One of the prisoners even went as far as to create a hole big enough to fit a person through. The 2 prisoners were eventually caught trying to escape through the hole and were sent to even harsher prisons. But this just became the beginning of eerie happenings at Eastern State Penitentiary. On October 1st, 1958, Eastern State Penitentiary officially closed its doors. So if you're ever in Philadelphia, I highly recommend checking this place out.